stand by the wall.
But
Just do it.
let him go. Just let him go.
The story begins on a remote island in the Outer Hebrides of Scotland, where a man named Michael Mason lives completely alone with only his dog for company and remains entirely cut off from the rest of the world. We then meet a young girl named Jessie, who arrives with her uncle to deliver food to Mason, a task they perform every week. But this time, Jessie leaves behind a small gift before departing. Later, when Mason goes outside to collect his supplies, he notices the gift, but chooses not to take it. A week later, Mason is spending time inside his house when he suddenly hears someone approaching from outside. He walks to the door and finds Jessie standing there in front of him. Mason collects his supplies and says to her that,
"Don't come up here again."
Most people just say thank you.
It's very important that you listen. Don't ever come up here again.
You know, me and my uncle come up here week after week bringing you supplies, and yet you've never even come down to greet us. Why is that?
Angry and frustrated, Jessie stands behind the door and hurls insults at Mason before finally leaving. As she heads back, her uncle calls out to her, telling her to hurry because a storm is coming. Jessie gets into her small boat and starts making her way toward her uncle's boat when suddenly... The moment Mason realizes that a storm is about to hit, he rushes outside and quickly launches his boat. When Mason reaches the water, he finds Jessie trapped in a fishing net. He manages to free her, but her uncle sinks beneath the waves along with his boat. Mason carries the unconscious Jessie onto his boat and performs CPR on her, which successfully brings her back to life. He then brings her to his home, and after some time, when Jessie wakes up, she asks him,
Where's my uncle? Where's my uncle?
He's dead. The trawler went down. He was trapped.
The next day, Mason bandages Jessie's injury. Afterward, Jessie becomes frustrated and asks Mason why he never informed the police. Mason tells her to stay quiet, which only makes her more upset. Take me back. She insists that sooner or later, someone will come looking for her. In response, Mason tells her that
My family will be looking for me.
You don't have a family. Your mother died a few years back. Never knew your father. Your uncle's taken care of you ever since, because there was no one else.
How do you know that? Well, someone will come looking.
Will they? There's nothing here for anyone.
When Mason steps outside to get some fresh air, a frightened Jessie picks up a knife and hides it beneath her pillow. Later that night, while she is asleep, she begins making noises because of a terrible nightmare. Hearing her distress, Mason walks over and sits beside her. Startled by his presence, Jessie suddenly grabs the knife and is just about to stab. She stops herself at the last moment. Afterward, Mason teaches her how to properly handle and use a knife. From that point on, the two develop a strong bond and gradually grow much closer. However, Jessie's wound is not healing, which leads Mason to decide that he must travel to the mainland to get medicine for her. After Mason leaves, Jessie begins looking through his belongings and discovers a drawing he made, along with a gift she had once left for him inside one of his drawers. Seeing this makes her realize how much he truly cared, and her feelings for him begin to grow. Meanwhile, Mason has come to the mainland for the first time in many years. He knows nothing about CCTV cameras or online live streaming. While buying medicine from a store, his face is captured on a security camera. Later, as he walks past a group of girls who are live streaming, his image is accidentally recorded there as well. We then cut to the headquarters of the government agency MI6, where a woman named Madison detects Mason in the footage. Following this, Agent Aziz goes on to explain that.
We have a retinal match. Timur Chamoyev. He's a high-value target wanted for the bombing of our embassy in Algeria.
Roberta, the head of the agency, then asks Aziz where Mason is located.
Stornoway, Outer Hebrides, Scotland. Repositioning satellites.
Who's our nearest assault team?
Alpha.
Send them.
After this, Mason has already returned to the island. After changing Jesse's bandages, the two sit down and have dinner together. While they are eating, Mason suddenly hears someone approaching from outside. He looks through a pair of binoculars and sees a boat heading toward the island. After seeing this, he turns to Jessie and tells her that,
Get in the bathroom. Lock the door. Don't make a sound. Don't come out until I come for you. Do it, Jesse. Stay.
when Mason steps outside, he finds that several Navy SEALs have already arrived on the island from the boat. He stands beside a rope with a knife in his hand and waits patiently. As soon as the soldiers reach the exact spot he was expecting them to reach, he cuts the rope.
Find this fucker. Now.
The soldiers move deeper into the island as Mason quietly takes them down one by one.
Stop it! I found a girl. Extracting her now.
Jack!
After killing all the soldiers, Mason tells Jessie to stay where she is and then walks back into the house. There he says a final goodbye to his dog. After that, he makes a phone call and tells the person on the other end that he is coming. He then removes the battery from his phone and leaves the island behind. Back at ME6 headquarters, all camera feeds suddenly go offline. Realizing every soldier is dead, Aziz and Roberta finally understand that Mason is not Chermoev, but someone far more dangerous.
Whoever he is, he's not Chamoyev.
Who's our nearest Tier 1 asset?
Now Roberta orders an agent named Workman to capture Mason. Meanwhile, Mason and Jessie have already arrived in the city. Mason hands Jessie his gun and tells her to stay where she is, while he sneaks into a nearby house to steal a set of car keys. As he searches through the drawers, looking for them, suddenly...
Hey, that's as far as you go.
Suddenly, Jessie walks in and points the gun at the man. She then orders him to stitch up Mason's wound.
Let's go slow.
Meanwhile, back at ME6 headquarters, the agents discover that the man they believe to be Timur Chermoev is actually Michael Mason, a former SBS operative who was presumed dead 10 years ago.
Michael Mason. He's one of ours.
Yeah. They also learned that his records were deliberately altered to conceal his identity and passed, leaving Roberta questioning who had targeted one of their own and why. We then see ME6, Chief Manafort, reviewing CCTV footage of Mason and Jessie on his laptop. The moment he sees Mason, he recognizes him immediately. Soon afterward, he learns that Roberta has sent an agent named Workman to eliminate Mason Manafort. Quickly sends a message to Workman ordering him to kill both Mason and Jessie.
Fuck you, Mason.
At the same time, Mason's stitches have been completed, and he and Jessie are just about to leave when Mason realizes that the man's son is nowhere to be seen. When he calls out to him, the boy finally appears and explains that.
Callum,
I called the police.
let's move. Sit there. Don't move.
Local authorities responding to a home invasion at the farm.
Well, tell them not to engage.
Hold a perimeter. Do not engage. I repeat, do not engage. We have personnel en route.
Are they going to arrest you?
It's not the police I'm worried about.
Don't open the door!
Find out where those shots came from.
Sorry. You need to stay here. Come on.
Back up the weapon down! Police, stop! What's echo? We have multiple.
Roberta cannot understand why Workman is killing people when she had only ordered him to capture Mason. Meanwhile, Mason and Jesse escape from the area in a stolen police car. Mason and Jesse leave the area, after which we see Workman standing outside the car. Then, without warning, he starts firing at the cars coming toward him. After that, Roberta calls Manafort and asks him about Michael Mason. In response, Manafort asks her,
Where did you hear that name?
He took down a full assault team alone.
Years ago, we ran an off-book program.
Manafort reveals Mason was part of a secret off-the-books unit, Black Kites, that operated beyond MI6 oversight. He says Mason was their best operative, but disappeared after sparing a target and falsifying his report. Manafort claims Mason was turned and warns Roberta he is a dangerous assassin who must be stopped.
Yes, sir.
Roberta remains suspicious and asks Madison to investigate Black Kite files. They find evidence that Mason was actually helping an Iranian scientist defect after exposing his country's nuclear program.
Instead of protecting him.
Good girl, Maddie.
Meanwhile, Manafort watches Roberta through a hidden camera and realizes she has become an obstacle in his way. Meanwhile, Mason arrives in the city of the man he had called while leaving the island. Mason and Jesse step out of the car and begin walking, when their image is suddenly captured on a dash cam. Manafort immediately sees their location and their faces on his system. He then shares the location with Workman. Mason and Jesse meet Arthur inside a church, and he takes them to his home. Arthur is an old ally who once helped Mason disappear and start a new life under a new identity. While looking into the situation, he discovers that someone has altered Mason's records, turning him from an ordinary man into a wanted terrorist.
When it was time for you to disappear, I changed your identity to an oil worker in Aberdeen. A nobody. But someone figured it out and swapped it to this guy. A high-value terrorist on the watch list.
Manafort.
The evidence points to Manafort, who has hated Mason for decades after Mason refused to follow one of his orders. He helped. With no other option left, Mason decides to seek help from Kamal Shah, a dangerous smuggler who can move people across borders. Although Arthur warns him not to trust Kamal. Mason feels he has no choice. As they are leaving, this is the very same scene that you saw at the beginning of the video.
Go stand by the wall. Just do it. Stand by the wall.
go.
Jesus!
Who was that?
Him! 20 years ago!
Workman replies to Manafort's message with two simple words, "Not yet." After reading the reply, Manafort calls one of his men over and tells him that
We're doubling down. Get your team ready. Yes.
Take my hat and coat. Help you hide those good looks. Use only for an emergency, or you know they'll trace you in a hop.
Yeah, we're gonna have to switch motors. They know we're in this one now.
after switching cars, Mason and Jesse set off to meet Kamal Shah. During the journey, Jesse is visibly upset because she does not want to be separated from Mason. However, Mason explains that he simply wants to see her live a good and happy life. Eventually, they arrive at Kamal Shah's location. Kamal is inside a club, and as Mason and Jesse head inside, Jesse notices a camera watching the entrance.
There's a camera, it'll see us.
Sorry, mate. Invite only.
Take me to Kamal. I'll break your other wrist.
This time, when the camera detects Mason, his real name appears on the system. The person responsible for making this happen, is Roberta, and she also learns that Manafort is the one behind framing Mason.
Stephen Manafort. I know. We'll deal with him later.
Get me every camera in this club now!
Mason enters the club and tells one of the men to inform Kamal that he has arrived. After receiving the message, Kamal calls Mason over to meet him.
Michael Mason, look at you.
Mason asks Kamal to get Jesse out of the country with a new identity. After learning that Manafort has become a threat, Kamal agrees to help. Left alone, Mason and Jesse share an emotional conversation. Jesse begs Mason to come with her.
If you really wanted to, come.
Hey, people like me don't get to go and live a normal life.
But he says that he still has responsibilities. Well, he cannot walk away from people. Unable to promise that he will return, he asks her to stay strong. Meanwhile, back at I6 headquarters.
Tactical team.
En route.
I want Mason and the girl taken in alive. They are not to open fire.
How's our front? How far out is your team?
They're still en route.
Where the f*** are you?
30 seconds out, sir.
The girl is his Achilles heel. Use that to your advantage.
Copy that, sir.
As search teams close in, Kamal returns with a passport money and a plan to send Jesse to a safe house in Spain. With the escape arranged, Mason and Jesse begin heading toward the club's exit to reach the location Kamal arranged for her. They discover that Manafort's men have already arrived. Moments later, a fierce fight breaks out between Mason and the attackers.
Manafort's guards have got Jesse.
Found her. Hold on. Right out the front entrance, cut across the square and turn south. She's being carried towards a black transit van.
Move, move! He's gonna be coming for her!
I don't see Mason.
There!
Mason's heading right towards you.
Mason gets Jessie out of the van and then escapes with her on a motorcycle. At the same time, workmen arrives at the scene and begins chasing them. Mason eventually reaches the shoreline with Jessie now, where a boat arranged by Kamal Shah is waiting. Jessie refuses to leave, but Mason forces her onto the boat and pushes it away from the shore. As Jessie sails away, workman suddenly arrives there as well.
You even know why you're doing this?
Doesn't matter.
After Workman's death, the scene shifts to a few days later. Manafort is watching the news on his laptop when he learns that Roberta has been appointed as the new head of MI6 in his place. Furious, he shuts the laptop and walks over to the window. When he looks outside, he sees the bodies of his guards lying on the ground. Moments later, Mason appears in front of him.
You were my dearest, my greatest weapon. And then you broke the rules. Black kites know one law above all: loyalty.
You're the very reason I didn't pull the trigger 10 years ago. And why I have to now.
3 months later in Ronda, Spain, Jessie is sitting alone in a restaurant when a camera catches her reflection in a mirror. At MI6 headquarters, Roberta sees her, but orders her team to leave Jessie alone. When the camera shifts upward, she realizes Mason is there too. A waitress then hands Jessie a package that someone outside has sent for her. Outside, we see Mason standing at a distance, watching her. When Jessie opens the package, she finds a chess piece inside. The moment she looks outside, Mason has already disappeared. And with that, the movie comes to an end. If you enjoyed the movie, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share your thoughts in the comments.